Hey guys, Tarke here, and I just thought I'd quickly do a tier 16 map clip because we've just gotten up to tier 16, so we're getting close to our first Sirus, and just kind of talk a little bit about the build, future build plans, because a lot of people are very desperate to see how the build feels in tier 16s. We are still on level 20 Exsanguinate, level 20 Seismic Trap, still just on the same +1 spell damage weapon, same spell damage shield, no damage anywhere else on gear. And yeah, now that I'm in the tier 16s, I'm starting to feel a slight damage wall. I still have enough damage that one Exsanguinate trap is enough to kill pretty much everything. And then for rares, it's like an Exsanguinate plus a Seismic. So it still feels pretty cozy in that sense. But when it comes to super rippy map mods, mostly vulnerability is the map mod that I'm feeling. Yeah, I was expecting vulnerability to be rough because obviously I mostly play acro phase acro builds, and this build currently doesn't have much, if any, in terms of physical mitigation outside of 3 endurance charges. I mean, it's literally 3 endurance charges, and that's it. So yeah, it's kind of like getting along happily, can still do all the content pretty comfortably, but when I get to the rippy stuff staying alive just a little bit longer, yeah, I'll admit I'm starting to feel it a tad. But if I had the 21 gems, I don't think it would be much of an issue. If I had the cooldown points, don't think it'd be much of an issue. And yeah, it's honestly been much better than I thought it would be. I wasn't expecting to get as far into the Atlas on as little investment. So if you're someone either starting the league late, not happy with your current build, or you just want something which can get you through the initial Atlas grind, this is definitely something I'd recommend. And again, we've done this whole thing as non-crit. I purposely stayed non-crit because I wanted to see how far I can push it. And at this point, I'm pretty happy to be like, yeah, it can do the stuff. Thumbs up. If you want to be doing stuff like Feared, then it's like, okay, we're going to need to start talking about investing into the gear a bit and, you know, getting some proper stuff rolling, getting the proper gems set up. But for now, I'm very satisfied with this character. So because of that, I'm probably going to start thinking about rerolling soon. I'll probably get my Sirus down and then maybe reroll after Sirus, or reroll a bit after. That's usually what I tend to do. Is I like my league start to get me comfortably into tier 16s, have a nice pool of tier 16 maps, get Sirus down, and then maybe reevaluate what I want based on how I'm feeling about the league mechanic and the certain struggles or challenges of the lead. If I don't think of a new build that I'm really happy with, I'm not 100% sold on, then obviously I'll just keep mapping on this. Making new builds doesn't mean that I'll never come back to this. Generally, what tends to happen when I make new builds at this point in the league is I take a couple of days away, I mess around with it, and then I often end up going back to my Trapper league starts. The only times I don't is if, like, whatever the new build is just really pops off, and I'm like, this is insane. But I generally find myself going back, you know, so. We'll do the Maven's Invitation as well. So yeah, you can see, like, we just took a little bit of time on the boss, but I don't know, I'm pretty comfortable with stuff taking that long. And maybe that's, like, the difference between me and a lot of people. Is I don't mind, you know, having to float around the boss for a little bit. Like, I'm used to playing dot builds, so I'm used to builds which kind of, like, are struggling a little bit with their damage. Because there's a very big difference between, yeah, a dot build which hasn't got its Empower and its 6-link, and then, like, a fully geared dot build. I've done a lot of 5-link dot build gaming action in my time, so I'm kind of used to the whole, uh-oh, the boss is alive for 15 seconds, you know what I mean? I am kind of tempted to do some Corsica Pathfinder action just because I'm very curious to see how pure Corsica would feel in this patch. I know a lot of people are doing Toxic Rain Ballistas. I actually really want to play a Ballista build. I've had Ballistas on my radar for a while now, and one of my, like, go-to builds when I'm testing stuff is Split Arrow and Shrapnel Ballistas for leveling. And I've never actually taken that build into the Atlas. And I remember when Sirus first came out, I believe. Is that 86? Oh, it is. Very nice. Level 86 Gemini Claw. But yeah, when Sirus was first added to the Atlas, Waggle made a Impale Split arrow build, which is pretty neat. And I haven't really seen anyone mess around with that setup in quite some time. I don't really have any gear to support it, which is a slight problem. And I'm not particularly keen to start farming lion cards. And if I wanted to play that build, I would definitely be farming lion cards. I'm kind of not really in the mood for div card farming. So that's generally what puts me off when I think about doing builds like that. It's the same thing with like Bleed Bow Gladiator. It's a build that I enjoy playing. But sorry, I farmed the lions so much in SSF over the last year or so that I'm just kind of a bit numb to it. So I'm not particularly keen to jump back into that. Sort of tempted to mess around with some jug action. I believe the last time I played a jug was in Horrendous League, which was Juggernaut Explosive Array. I played it in a race. Yeah. Jug builds tend to be pretty boring. At least to me, I find them pretty boring. But as I was saying with the whole vulnerability thing, fizz damage definitely is a bit of a spooker at the moment. So, you know, it's on my radar. It's on my radar. There's a lot of ways to mitigate fizz outside of just doing endurance charges. One of the most powerful ways and best ways of going about it is just getting a whole bunch of fizz taken as elemental, do divine flesh stuff, and just go that route, which is very, very strong. I don't have any of the gear to support that in SSF currently, so maybe not the best second build goal when you have none of the things to support it. Let's see, what's that artifact? So I leave the beastie alive? No, I know, it's just being slowed up. Logbooks, ooh, we want that. Ugh, okay, so I guess we're starting there. To there. Fractured items pack size, I guess to there. To there. That's already in. I guess we're just going for that side bit of mobs though. So yeah, if you've got any recommendations in terms of builds, or at least, if not build, just like mechanics you found strong. I still really want to do a ward-based character. I think the new ward flask was pretty strong. I never really messed around with Petrified Blood last league, which is why I was kind of tempted to turn this character into a Petrified Blood low-life build. Could be just a option to eke out more damage without having to collect the gear pieces that I'm missing. That has been something that I've sort of been thinking about, although I don't really have the gear I would want to support that swap. So, again, not too sure. But, you know, I've got options, and options are always good. Always a fan of having options. Did we pick up anything nice? That's the 86. That's 85. Keep that in the 86. But yeah, I honestly wasn't expecting to stay on this character as long as I did. I was sort of expecting to be like, okay, this is pretty good, then have to do like a swap into a more traditional trapper. I've just been, as I said before, just very pleased, very pleasantly surprised with the whole pure fizz non-crit action, so big thumbs up there. Yeah, if I had to make a list of like my potential up-and-comers for future builds, I'd say like pure Caustic Arrow Pathfinder, maybe some Ballista action, not on Toxic Rains, but like a legit just attack-based Ballista build. Could be kind of neat. I have got a lot of very good elemental damage with attack gear, so I could maybe try and force some Ellie damage bow stuff. I've been hearing a lot of bad things about Ellie Hit this league. I don't know if that's just from the way that people are building Ellie Hit, or if just Ellie... Oh, what am I doing? That's not the right type of invitation. Or if just like Ellie Hit really took the brunt. So, yeah, we will have to see. Definitely open to suggestions. Definitely open to ideas. Yeah, let me know if there's anything in particular you'd like me to cover. We've got the Bay class tomorrow at 10 PM. Hope everyone's doing well. If you missed it, I was on Fated Connections this morning with Grimro. That should be uploaded onto YouTube sometime soon. I'm Tarke. Have a good day. do your heists, by the way. That's probably another thing I will do. I've got a whole bunch of blueprints left to run. I'll probably get Sirus down, see if that drops anything interesting, run all my heists. I generally do that quite a lot when I don't know what to do. I'm like, do I want to maybe make a new build, run a bunch of heists, get a cool replica unique or a cool alt gem. Hey, there we go, BS. I'm Tarke. Have a good day. See you in Bay class tomorrow, by the way. Bye-bye.